Welcome to Math Mini Lessons, where today we're going to review SOLVE, our system for working through word problems and making our thinking visible. This strategy really requires us to play at a level 10. In 6th grade, you learn the 5 steps for SOLVE. And today we're just going to quickly review them before we get to the teacher model. SOLVE is just an acronym, standing for state, organize, line up, verify, and evaluate. So while I model, watch how I restate the problem in my own words as a full sentence. Organize the facts by annotating and learning what those numbers really mean, creating a clear plan of action, going through with my plan and showing all my work, and finally evaluating to get an answer and checking my results. So let's jump into those teacher models. Let's jump right in and stay tuned. There's going to be a little new strategy I'm going to show you on the side for subtracting. So jumping right in, we're going to have solve here on the side to help us with our writing. I'm going to try writing as small as I possibly can as I'm reading the problem. Jennifer withdrew $526.57 from her account and deposited a check for $728. What was the change in her account? So thinking about, well, what are they asking me to find? That's what they're asking us to find, the change in the account. That's what we want, the net change. What is our important information? We knew she withdrew $526. That is definitely a minus. And she deposited a check for $728. So we have minus 526.57, and our second event, so there are two things, so I'm going to add a plus 728, which is also a positive. Now I'm not going to write positive, it doesn't make sense, so let's just take that out. It's just positive 728, and we are going to find the net change. Overall, what was the change? All right, so L, what's our plan for this? We're going to add integers to find the net change. It's just one step. However, I know I have a positive and a negative integer, so because they're positive and negative, I'm going to use the absolute value of both numbers and calculate the difference and find the difference. Okay, so this is really to subtract. So yes, even though I'm adding, I know I had to subtract because there are going to be some zero pairs in there. So some zeros are going to happen. My numbers are going to seem smaller. That's just like subtracting. So let's start by verifying. I'm going to show my work here. Minus 526.57 plus 728. We're going to rewrite this with absolute value. I'm going to start with my bigger number because I know I'm going to subtract in the end. That's the easy one. And I'm going to turn the 526.57. I'm going to subtract that one. And I'm going to add my two zeros here. Like I like to subtract from left to right. So I'm just going to ask myself some questions. I can do 7 minus 5. I can do 2 minus 2, 8 minus 6. I do not have enough to subtract here and here. So I'm going to get rid of my regrouping early. So I have enough because I needed one here and I have to regroup again to get this one. Lots of kids make mistakes there. Like, honestly, a lot of kids when it comes to double regrouping. But look how much easier it is for me to subtract now. So I know this is 3, 4, 1, 0, 2. So my change is $201.43. Now, here's my thinking. Is this a positive or is it a negative? So looking at my values here, which one had the greater absolute value? 728, meaning when I take away the zero pairs, I'm not going to have any negatives left. I'm going to be left with only positives. So my net change, I'm going to have a gain of 201.43 or positive 201.43. There's my answer. So, and we're going to verify it with the inverse operation. Meaning we know we make mistakes when we calculate stuff. So being that we did subtraction, I'm going to try and add these two numbers together. And the sum should get me back to 728. So let's see if that's true. 201.43 plus 5, 26, 57. I get 10. I get 10. 8, 2, 7. Bam! Verified. My calculation is correct. Let's hit pause so you can jot this down into your notes. All right, and as promised, since I know double regrouping is a place lots of kids make a mistake, here's a strategy that I give to younger kids in elementary school that really help when we have double regrouping. So we're going to do 728 minus 5, 26, 57. I actually use this in the grocery store all the time to do some mental math. And it's called take a penny, leave a penny. Meaning I'm going to take a penny away from here. I'm going to take away 1 cent. And then at the end of the problem, I'm going to add that 1 cent back in so that my overall value does not change. So watch what this looks like. If I take away 1 penny, I get $727.99. This stays the same. So now when I subtract, look at how easy this is because I have enough to subtract. So here we go. I took away 1 cent. So now I have to add my 1 cent back in for conservation of numbers. And I get 201.43. So this is a quick way. I use it all the time in the store when I'm trying to figure out the change because we pay with bills and we often get change back. So when you have to break dollar bills, this is a quick way of figuring out the change. Take away a penny, subtract it in your mind from 99, and then add it at the end for your final difference. Great. Let's jump into our last question for today. It has to do with the stock market with Bitcoin. Tons of people love the Bitcoin. So when the market opens up, immediately there is change. So at the start of the day, just usually I think 9 a.m., the cost of Bitcoin dropped $52.39. And at 10 a.m., it decreased to 81.26. So at 9 a.m. this happened, and then the second thing happened. What was the net change? So that's what we're trying to solve. What is the net change of both events, of both transactions events? That's what we're trying to figure out. And we have the first drop, and I'm going to add for our second event, but check this out. Our second event is also a decrease, so it's another negative. So I'm adding 2 negative numbers. Does that make sense? 2 things happen. That's why I'm using addition between them. And because the second one was another decrease, I'm using a subtraction sign here. So what is my action going to be? Well, I'm going to add negative integers. Because they're the same, we're going to add the absolute value. We're going to add the absolute value because they're the same, and then we know how to figure out the sign. So let's do the first one, 281.26 and 52.39. I'm adding them together, and I'm getting 65 cents, $333.65. So this was my change, but I know that it became more negative. So it dropped, a decrease of $333.65, or a change of negative 333.65. Okay, there is my answer. So we have it here. We're going to verify it using the inverse operation. So looking at our work, where would I make a mistake? I don't want to make any silly errors. So being that we added these 2 together, I'm going to try this. What if I take these 2, if I find the difference, instead of adding, if I took this and subtracted this, will I get my original number? That's what I want to know. So let's write check over here. 333.65 to 81.26. I'm not adding a penny or leaving a penny because it's not 0, 0, but I do want to check that I have enough. I do not have enough here. Have enough here, have enough here, and I do not have enough here. So I see 2 places to regroup. So I'm going to borrow from here to make 13. I have enough, but I need to borrow from here to make 15. Now I can subtract 2, 5, 5239. And bam, 5239, here it is, 5239. So in this case, I went here, I took this number away to see if I get the other one. And so my calculation is correct. I subtracted correctly and I added correctly. Take 2 seconds and just drop this into your notes.